Hello everyone, and welcome to what is probably the third session of learning how to code AngularJS 2.0. In the previous session I went through the quick start that they had on the website, so if you're looking here, there's a quick start section. I went through that, ran that. It was basically just a hello world example. Pretty cool actually. They taught us how to set up our own light server on the machine here, just from the command line, and also how to have a compiler for TypeScript as well. So whenever we change the file, it would automatically compile that to JavaScript and then run the application again, which was pretty cool. So what I've done before this session, which is apparently a scenario called the Tour of Heroes, which is the example I want to go with next. What I've done is I've actually copied over the previous tutorial exercise folder, Angular2-quick start here, and renamed it to Tour of Heroes. And then I've just executed the listener and the compiler in that directory. So that's where I'm at the moment, and I'm about to get started. So let's have a look at what this Tour of Heroes involves. Tour of Heroes, the vision. Our grand plan is to build an app to help a staffing agency manage its stable of heroes. Okay? Even heroes need to find work, really. Of course, we'll only make a little progress in this tutorial. What we do build will have many of the features we expect to find in a full-blown data-driven application. Acquiring and displaying a list of heroes, editing a selected hero's detail, and navigating among different views of heroic data. The Tour of Heroes covers the core functionality, the fundamentals of Angular. We'll use built-in directives to show hide elements and display lists of hero data. We'll create a component to display hero details and another to show an array of heroes. We'll use one-way data binding for read-only data. We'll add editable fields to update a model. With two-way data binding, we'll bind different components to user events like keystrokes and clicks. We'll learn to select a hero from a master list and edit that hero in the details view. We'll format data with pipes. We'll create a shared service to assemble our heroes, and we'll use rating to navigate amongst the different views and their components. Okay, sounds like a lot there. One thing they did say in there was directives. They still got directives, do they? Okay. It seemed to me that components was like almost like directives, but anyway, obviously not the case. We'll learn enough of core Angular to get started and gain confidence that Angular can do whatever we need it to do. We'll be covering a lot of ground at an introductory level, but we'll find plenty of links to chapters with greater depth. Alright, so let's have a look at the live example just to see what we're making. It's always good to have a look first. Run. So we got ourselves a dashboard, we've got top heroes, we've got 4 people. Click on magenta. On the details screen, we can change the name. Okay. Then you go back and click on heroes. And gives us a list. Click on tornado. Shows detail. Shows name. Click on view details. And change this to a 2. Oops. And click back. That takes us back there, right? And you go back to the dashboard. It's not in the top 4. Narco is. So let's go and change Narco. Change it to 5. We'll go back to the dashboard. Okay, 5, right. Okay, so that's kind of how it relates. Alright, so that's what we're building. Doesn't seem that interesting, but I guess it's to teach us the main concepts. Let's go back to, yeah. So the end game, here's the visual one, we just looked at it. Specifically industrial name, which is in the route. Hero details. So there's going to be some routing involved in this example. Click the back button. Click heroes and app and take heroes master. Let's see. We click a different hero and read only mini detail beneath. It's our new choice. Okay. Saw this. Alright, so it looks like we're starting from the hero editor. So let's do this. Let's do this, man. Once upon a time, every story starts somewhere. Story starts with a quick start, ends. Alright, so I've kind of already done this. And I've already got these files in there. The only thing I probably got left behind in these ones is probably the JS files, which are inside the app folder. But if we keep these files, it's most likely they're just going to be overwritten anyway, so I'm just going to leave it as is for now. Keep the app transpiling and running. Well, I've already got that running, so it's all good. Show hero. We want to display hero data in our app. Let's add div properties to our app component, a title property for the application name, and a hero property for the hero name Windstorm. Okay. Let's do that. So I'm going to open up Sublime. And I'll go open. Which apps are in for Tour of Heroes app. Not JS. Go back. Oh no, here we go. Yes. Open. Now the other thing I forgot to mention before too, I actually add some syntax support for Sublime. So now we're starting to get that color coding, which is good. So this is the app component from the previous example. I haven't changed it. So based on what they're saying, we shouldn't change anything, but inside of app component we create a title. Tour of Heroes, and we also give it a hero. It's Windstorm. Not sure why we're doing this yet, but so I'll stick with for now. Now we update the template in the app component with data binds to these new properties. Okay. So the default is to go H1. So we put in title. Gotcha. That's in the H1 tag. And then a H2. So that really should be matched up in a H group, but for now this is just an example. This is probably what they've also done. Hero details. Okay, so alright, so we should have it now. File changed, a component main.js also changed. So now that when we load this, it should have that new change in it. And it does. Not bad. Next. So far all we've done is we've added a property to the app component or the root component class, and then we've just created a main template that sits on the main index.html form that contains both the title and the hero text, but they aren't modified as of yet, so they're not modifiable. So at the moment they're just bound to a read-only property. Okay, got that. And the double curly braces in Angular, even in the old Angular, that's when you want to output it like that, and you just do it like that. So double curly braces tell our app to read the title and hero properties from the component. This is the interpolation form of one-way binding, data binding. Why? Because it's just read only, or it doesn't change. But you can change it, can't you? Anyway, next. Hero object. At the moment, our hero is just a name. Our hero needs more properties. Let's convert the hero from a literal string to a class. Create hero class with ID and name properties. Alright, so this is in the same app.component.ts. So instead of calling it app component, we're calling it hero. Export class, so now we're giving it properties. So ID, which is a number, name, string. So in JavaScript you can't do this. You can't. So normally you would have to specify the ID and then some value of the ID, and that whatever that value of the ID was the type that this ID was. If that makes any sense. So if you pass it in empty string, ID was actually considered a string, not a number. But here we're saying we want the ID property of this hero class or this hero object to always be a number, and the same with the name. And this is TypeScript stuff. If you want to go and look that up, that's great. I kind of already understand how this works, so I don't really need to go much further. I just thought it made a bit of sense just to say that that's what it does. Okay, so now that we have the hero class, let's refactor our component's hero's property to be that of the hero. Hang on a minute. What have we done here? Oh, wait. I've made a mistake here. Go back. Apparently I was supposed to have two classes. My bad. So here in the same file for some reason. And this not going all the way back yet. There it goes. So sorry guys, go through this again. And ID, which is a number, name, string. Oops. We don't have commas here, we have semicolons. So now this is this hero is a type of hero. I'm going to make it equal to. What happened here? Why am I getting a mistake? I've defined the export class hero down here. I'm specifying it as a type here. But then I have to instantiate the value, right? So hero, what should tell me what's wrong with it? How do I find out what's wrong with this line? Maybe it's just expecting me to fill in these values now. Oh yeah, okay. It's alright, it's just a TypeScript issue. Knew that it had to instantiate two properties as part of the, well, it's not actually part of a constructor, but because we haven't specified these as values that are optional, you know, so therefore it's like it's saying no, these two fields are required for this to be able to work. So I believe that's what it's doing. Save. So now that we've done that, we go back up to the template. Now I've got a hero. I want to pass in the name of the hero can't be just called hero anymore because a hero is actually a hero object. So then we have to pass in the property name. So normally you just go dot name like that. I'm just going to check to see if this works. That's in there. Yeah, so it still works. So I don't know if you guys can make sense of this, but basically what we've done is we've created a new class. We have an ID and a name. We've instantiated that class inside of this root component so that it's a property of the root component. So we've got hero, which is a lowercase hero, is equal to a new hero with an ID of 1 and a name of Windstorm. Still not sure why or whether those are considered required because they're just out there on their own. Again, that's a TypeScript question. But now that we built that, then we had to access the name property of the hero object that's on the app component. So therefore, we had to access hero first. Right, so hero's there. And then we had to get the name, which is this. So there, it's both inside double parentheses. And that's why that should now work. If I save this, cancel, you can see Windstorm was the name of the hero, and it still says Windstorm details, so that's good. So far I'm on track with them, I understand. Now normally I would put export class hero into another file and then you would probably import it in as a hero, but I think for simplicity let's just leave that out. And just do it the way that they say, so we don't get lost in the tutorial. Adding more tutorial, adding more HTML. Displaying a name is good, but we want to see all our heroes properties. We'll add a div for our hero's ID property and another div for our hero's name. Our template string is getting a bit long. We'll take care of those. Okay, so going back to the template, they now want to include the title, the hero's name, a label of an ID that has the value ID, and that's all contained sort of a div. And then they want another div that says name, and that has the hero's name. Alright, let's see if I can do this without looking. So, first thing you want to do, after you've got the hero's details, they want to, at the end of this, put a div. Now, I'm assuming there must be a template URL. I'm assuming most templates for a component are going to be written in HTML in line like this, because it would be pretty annoying to do that after a while. So they want a label. And then they want the ID, and then they want the value, which is hero ID. That makes sense so far. And then they want another div, they wanted another div. And I also want to have a label. Div, not dive. Label. So what do they want inside this label again? They want the name. So name space. Name colon space. And then so I'm just going to take a break for a second. Hey everyone again, sorry about that, I just had a few errands to run. I'm back now, and what were we doing? That's right, we're putting in a label for the hero name, weren't we? So after the label we put hero.name. That's not the same as the example I have down there. So what have they done down here? Alright, so they're gonna put it on line by line. That's alright, I guess. We can do it the same way they do it, so it's a little easy to read. At the end of the day, guys, this is all HTML, so it's not gonna hurt. Oh. Let's do some. Do like that? Does it? No, it's still expecting. They're using a tilde there. It's a little tick. They're using a tick. So it's like that, rightio. Oh, well, that's interesting. So in TypeScript you can use the little tick thing. Now, it's basically the tilde when you don't hold down shift. That's what it looks like to me. The div label and then a hero ID slash div. So it's the same, it's just I'm moving it down. And then line, and then I get rid of that. And then they've got the tick again. And no semicolon. Oh, because we're inside of an object. Well, okay. Might move that tick over though, so it's a little bit more. Jeez. Yeah, like that. A little bit more readable. Ticks. 0 lines. Okay, so the first line was actually correct. I had it right the first time, and then they go, oh, it's almost getting too long. Oh, this is just how they explain how you can break it out. Yep. Editing our hero. Okay, so now they want us to put an input for the name instead of label. So input A equals double parentheses, okay. Oops. That was just my phone, don't worry about that. There's a placeholder, okay. And placeholder equals name. Gotcha. Okay. So it looks like here we're creating a little detailed screen and then an image. And if I look up the browser. Okay. Now at this stage I'm only showing the value to be that, it's not bound, so hopefully I'm assuming that I do this. It doesn't bind to anything. Yeah. Let's just put the value in there, so we haven't done any binding. I'm sure that's what they're going to show us next. Two-way binding, here we go. We intend to display the name of the hero in the input, change it and see those changes when we bind our hero's name. In short, we don't want two-way binding. Let's update the template to use ng model built-in directive for two-way binding. Replace the input with the following HTML. So still at this stage it hasn't explained these square and round brackety things. and they're getting rid of these. Okay. So far, other than the way it's structured, this whole concept of an engine model, you attach it to a text box field or something like that, and that, because this is all linked up to the app component, and it's hero.name, it'll change the contents of this when you change it, and because you change that, also up, actually no, oh yeah, here it is, hero.name details, this will also change, because this is bound to this property, but it's also bound to the input of this control. So when this control changes, it's double bounding up to here, so you'll see that change. So now if I go in and check out the quick start, I'm going to change it to 2. Yeah, there you go. So we're going to go Daryl, starting in. Let me save this. So Daryl Legend is a hero. Nice. Cool. Next. The road we've travelled. Let's take stock of what we've built. Our tour of heroes uses the double curly braces of interpolation, a form of one-way binding, to display the application title and properties of a hero. We wrote a multi-line template using ES 2015 template strings. Alright, I thought it was ECMAScript. It might still be. Let's see what. I keep seeing it everywhere. And it's got Babel here. Here you go. What do you see? ES 2015. ES is a pseudonym for the latest version of JavaScript and needs to be approved by. Yeah, ECMAScript. Yeah, okay. For 2015. Okay, that's fine. That must be a new way of writing. I've got multiple lines. I've got the little backtick thing, which makes it easier to not have to go plus or close off every time. Because what you have to do with JavaScript, you all know this. You have to usually go plus, then new line, and then add the text, and then plus again. You want to make it look all nice and formatted. Whereas with this, you use that tick option and it just works. So that's good. We can both display and change the hero's name after adding to a binding to the input element using the built-in engine model directive. The engine model directive also propagates changes to every other binding on the hero.name. Yeah, oh well, of course. It's like pointing to the same dictionary value, I guess. So what's this one example? Is this what we just did? This is what we just did, right? Yeah. That's showing us what the outcome was meant to be, and which for us it's good. So they've got export class hero at the top. I don't have it there. I have it down the bottom. The export class app component. Yep, everything looks right here. The road ahead. Our tour of heroes only displays one hero, and we want to really display a list of heroes, which will allow us to use the slave heroes. Yep, okay. So we need to master the detail screen. Alright, so now I'm hoping to do this as a separate chapter. I'm just going to keep going where we left off before we continue on to part 2. The file structure part 1. Yeah, I have all that. It's all good. Yep. Okay. So now what are we doing? Let's create an array of 10 heroes at the bottom of app.component.ts. It's not inside of any class. Why would you do this? This is like declaring a global method, a global property. Okay. Public heroes, zeros. Why is that wrong? We're just doing what it's just. I don't see a column. It still doesn't seem to be like doesn't understand public or heroes. Weird. Oh, I'm sorry. This is inside. This has to go inside a component. No wonder it wasn't making sense. I'm like public. That's better. Right. So is this heroes thing exposed? If I save this, and I go into app, where's main.js? Is it main? No, not main. App component.js. Let's open this up. Yikes. Where's heroes? Heroes is there. Where's that here? Okay. Why are they making me put everything in the one file so far? Component has heroes. Let's create an unordered list in our template to display them. Need. Okay, so hang on a second. Where's it showing up? A little confused, guys. Not because I'm just confused on where this code goes. We could have defined the heroes list here in the component class, but we need to know we get the heroes from that service because we know where we are heading. It makes sense to separate the hero data from the classification from the start. Okay. So below the tile and above the hero details. So they're saying right here. I think it's weird, but anyway, I'm not going to complain. H2, my heroes. Now I know I can copy and paste it. Actually, I might just copy and paste it because it's pretty straightforward what it does. Sometimes I'll just type it in, just so I know how to type the syntax. In this circumstance, it's nothing. So I've got UL class equals heroes, and then we've got li. Well, so far, it's just a bunch of. It's just an unordered list with an li tag in it with nothing in it. So if I run that, nothing new is going to be different there. It's just going to have that. We only have a template that we can build our heroes. Listing heroes with ng4. I saw this earlier. Unlike ng4. Okay, so asterisk ng4. And then we have to put it on the li tag. So asterisk ng4 equals let hero of heroes. Okay. Not in here, or let hero of heroes. Okay. And then we can do span class equals badge. So let's do whatever's in. Just do this code here. We're not using Bootstrap, are we? Okay. Let's all the names out there, that's good. I think what they're doing at this stage is they're building up every template inside the same app.component.ts, and then once we get into routing, they'll break it out because it'll be part of a different page. So for a required different component, potentially. That's why they're keeping everything together right now. So, what does the star do? Indicates that the li element and its children constitute a master template. The ng4 directive iterates over the heroes array returned by the app component.heroes property. Yeah, because everything at the moment stopped in is exposed as app component.hero app component. I know an array is. Take each hero in the hero's array, store it in the local variable hero, and make it available to the corresponding template instance. The let keyword before hero identifies the hero as a template input variable. Okay. We can reference this variable within the template to access a hero's properties. So because I called it let hero, we can access the properties of. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'll come back to that. Now we insert some content between the li tags, which we did already, didn't we? So now should we see a list of heroes? What should we do? Already saw that. Okay. Let's add some styles to our component. We're seeing styles probably on the at component decorator. So what do we do? Are you kidding me, right? I'm gonna write all this. See the styles. So I don't like. That's the other thing too, guys, that I'm not a huge fan of. Normally, I'm not a fan of a lot of CSS or inline HTML instead of JavaScript files. That's one. But the other thing that bothers me the most is classes and lots of IDs and classes just to do CSS. I'm a person that if I can work out a DOM structure to access and manipulate CSS, that's what I do. Classes I try to use sparingly as possible, and IDs only if I need to target something to work against in JavaScript or something like that. I very rarely use IDs for CSS unless I'm building myself a component. In which case, what I'll normally do is I'll give it a name and then I'll have standard CSS selectors to follow it. But anyway, I'm not gonna talk too much about that because it's not relevant for what I'm doing here. But yeah, this whole inline CSS stuff, it makes you want to shudder, and that's even if it works, and it does work. So that's all nice and everything, and I'm sure it looks lovely, and you hover over it and it looks, yeah, I ain't not complaining about the styling. Yeah, it looks good, but what I complain about is where. So next. So what we got here? Just gonna take another break, guys. Hey everyone, sorry I'm back again. Again, just disturbances. Oh boy. Anyway, so where did we get to? We got to put the styles in. Then we notice again we use the backtick notation for multiple line strings. When we assign to a component scope to that specific component, our styles will only apply to our app component and won't leak into the outer HTML. Yeah, but that's pretty bloody messy. That's pretty darn messy. I would prefer to have it skinned in a particular way and just have a global style sheet than to do that. That just seems very messy. But anyway. Now we got so still class heroes. So li class equals heroes. Yeah, we got that. But it's ng4 let heroes of heroes badge. Yeah, so what's the star for again? I did see it up here in this big thing here. So the star prefix for ng4 indicates the li element and its children constitute a master template. Master template, okay. I don't know what that means. Template syntax. Maybe that's why a style sheet gets applied. Is that what it is? Like, because you're creating a whole new template. template to access heroes properties. So I'm assuming this says this is a new template. So these variables are only valid inside of here, and I can't access anything outside of it. Maybe that's what it means. So it's like an inner template within a main template. So what if you don't put the star? I'll look at template syntax later. So yeah, so we're already right now. It's lifestyle. Selecting a hero. So we're gonna put the click now on it. We modify, so what's this? We have a list of heroes and we have a single hero displayed in our app. The list and the single hero not connected in any way. We want the user to select a hero from our list and have the selected hero appear in the details view. This UI pattern is widely known as master detail. In our case, the master is the heroes list and the detail is the selected hero. Okay, let's collect the master to the detail through the selected hero component property down to the click event. So, for ng4, list heroes in a click. So again, this is in round parentheses. So what is it? For so it says click equals on select hero So I'm assuming there has to be an onSelect function down in this app component. Is that the next thing it asks us to do? The parentheses identify the li elements click event as the target. What's the target? So what's this saying? So target target this method on this event. So what it's saying? No, target this event on. I don't get what it means by target. The parentheses identify the li elements click event as the target. The expression to the right of the equal sign holds the app component on select method on select, passing the template input variable as an argument. Okay. Add the click handler. Our event binary refers to an onSelect method that doesn't exist yet. We add that method to our component now. What should that method do? It should set the component selected hero to the hero that the user clicked. Our component doesn't have a selected hero yet either. We'll start there. Expose the selected hero. We no longer need the static hero property of the app component. Replace it with a simple selected hero. Okay. What's that? We decided that none of these heroes should be selected before the user picks the hero, so we won't initialize selected hero as we were doing with hero. Yep, okay. Now add the onSelect method. That's already an onSelected method, onSelected hero. So this not selected hero equals hero. Makes sense, pretty straightforward. Seems very tedious to put all this into the one file, but anyway. We will be showing the selected heroes details in our template. At the moment, it's still referring to the old hero property. Let's fix it in the template. Makes sense. Let's do that. So I'll try and do this without looking. So selected hero here. Yeah, that does it. Hide the empty detail with ngIf. When it uploads, we will see a list of heroes, but the hero is not selected. Yeah, okay, yep. Of course, if this is not set, then we can get this copy arrow. We'll address this one by keeping hero detail out of the DOM until it's selected. So they're going to use an ngIf statement here, are we? So if there's an ngIf selected hero, so we're just wrapping around the div. Makes sense. So here, div ngIf equals selected hero. So I'm assuming if that means if ngIf selected hero has something, then we'll do all this. Alright. Remember that the leading asterisk in front of the ngIf is a critical part of the syntax. Okay, let's have a look. Yep, so nothing to click. If I click on one, nothing happens. Okay, do I get an error? OnSelect is not a function. The syntax right? I'll put OnSelect instead of OnSelect. And what does it say? Just OnSelect, does it? Ah, okay. Give it another run. Ah, that's better, yeah. Nice. So we'll do winding and everything. Okay, we know this does a list. We also know actually break all this out. But so far, it makes sense. You've got yourself a title, which is the title of the component, which we've set to Tour of Heroes. You've got My Heroes header, which is this here. Then you've got a URL or another list, which is a general way of formatting out these kinds of things. And then ally with an asterisk ng4, let hero of heroes. So we're specifying we need hero inside of heroes. The subtemplate. For each hero, we have a clickable event passing in that hero, or the app component has a onSelect event that binds or will bind to that hero. And then there's the span tag with the class's badge, and we're passing in the hero ID and the hero name this stage. Then, if we haven't selected anything and nothing else shows up, if we have selected something, which means ngIf selected hero is actually a value, we then populate a header saying selected hero.name with the word details after that, and then we show the ID of that user and an input that allows us to modify the name of that user, or of that hero, I should say. Then a bunch of styles, which are all inline here, and are only relevant to the actual component itself. Outside of the DOM, it means nothing. And then we have the app component class, which has the title, it has the selected hero property, it has an onSelect method for the li statements, passing in the current hero and selecting if they click it. And then we have a collection of heroes, which is what's used to start the iteration of those heroes in the first place. And that's exposed as a public because the heroes list is defined somewhere else. And then we still have that class hero, which is what we use throughout the whole thing in order to pass stuff around, as well as populate up here. So that's that so far. That's what I've gathered so far. Hope everyone else is with me as well. So ngIf, going through that. So when there is no selected hero, the ngIf directive removes the hero details from the DOM. Yep, worked that out. There will be no hero detail elements and no one needs to worry about. When the user picks a hero, it becomes truthy, and ngIf puts a hero detail content on the DOM and evaluates the nested binaries. ngIf and ngFor are called structural directives because they can change the structure of portions of the DOM. In other words, they give structure to the way the displays content in the DOM. Learn more about ngIf and ngFor and other structural directories in the structural directories and template syntax chapters. And I will be doing that, don't worry. The browser refreshes and we will see a list of heroes, but not selected hero detail. Yep. Yeah, I looked at all this already. Okay, so what's this? We will see selected hero and the details are below, but we can't quickly locate a hero in the list. So by applying a selected CSS class to the appropriate ally in the master list, for example, when select magenta from the heroes list, we can make it pop out visually by giving it a subtle background color as shown here. We'll add a property binding on the class for the selected class. Alright, so then we're going to add in a selected. No? So what is this? Okay, it's the name of the CSS class. Oh, right, okay, so for whatever inside of that, we're going to only apply the class name of selected if the hero is equal to the selected hero. So it looks like these square brackets is modifying properties that are on the actual element itself, potentially. And this is modifying an event and saying on the event do this. That's what it's starting to look like. Looks like something like that anyway. What I might do is I might finish this page, then I might end the video, and in the next video we'll keep going. Just because this is much further than I thought, well, this is much longer than I thought it was going to be. So what do we got now? So if I now run this app, we should get, so if I click on magenta, oh yeah. Okay. Rightio. We select a different hero tile, and the telltale color switches to that hero. Here's the complete app component TS as it stands now. Yeah, we'll just skip this. We know it's pretty much got the same thing. Alright, and that's it. So, well, we learned a little bit there. We learned, how to do some binding. So knowing how to use the ng model to bind the value of a property to, and how that happens, or how that relates to other pieces on the template. So when you change this, it updates this. We learnt the ng4 attribute and how you can do let hero of heroes, and then you can change certain properties and events on the actual item that it's applied to based on what you need to do. Then on the inside we can access properties of that inline value, so we can give a presentation. But all of this stuff is all bound at this stage to the app component, which if you look at the code here, you'd think, that's no big deal. But I don't like this for starters. I don't know why you would have stray arrays out in the middle of nowhere. I know it probably gets compiled and it's kept outside the global namespace, or the global space in JavaScript, but I just don't like this being so stray. And then all this hard coding of styles, not a fan of that either. I'm not even a fan of hard coding templates. So I'm hoping that somewhere down the line it'll show you how to create a template that you just load in. Then again, it may not. Maybe that's just the new approach that they're taking. They'll write all your templates within the actual TypeScript files, which would be a little bit ugly, but anyway. So thank you for staying with me on this journey for the third session. We're starting to get somewhere now. Hopefully you guys have as much understanding as I do, if not more. And I'll see you in the next session.